So, you want to achieve great success in life? Then you must learn how to turn your weaknesses into strengths. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 simple tips how you can turn your weaknesses into strengths. Hey, this is Sean from StudyMotivation.com. How is it going? If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button right now and subscribe to my channel. Do you know that Albert Einstein, one of the most famous scientists of all time, was once labeled as a lazy child and that he failed his math test? He has serious attention deficit because he always daydreamed in school and he was very forgetful. But that didn't stop Einstein from pursuing physics and became one of the top scientists of the century. The same went for Walt Disney. In 1919, Disney was fired from one of his animation jobs at Kansas City Star newspaper because his editor felt that he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. But from what we know, Walt Disney was extremely creative and innovative. That was how he created the famous cartoon characters, Mickey Mouse and many others. As you can see, it doesn't matter if you have weaknesses because we all do. What truly matters is how you deal with your weaknesses. Here's the key. You can either choose to accept your weakness and see it as a roadblock or an obstacle, or you can turn it into your strength and learn how to use it as a stepping stone to your success. So, how can you turn your weaknesses into strengths? Here are the 5 tips. Number 1. You must recognize and acknowledge your weaknesses. You can't fix something that you don't know is broken. You can only fix something when you know it is broken, right? Hence, the first step to improving your weaknesses is to recognize them so that you can make a conscious effort to overcome them. So, what are your weaknesses? What are you bad at? If you want to identify your strengths and weaknesses, you can always start with your goals. Pick a goal you want to achieve and write it down on the middle top of a piece of paper. And then divide the paper into 2 sections, okay? And write down strengths and weaknesses. And then begin to brainstorm what are the necessary skills or action steps you need to take to achieve your goal. Put those skills you have listed into the strengths or weaknesses column. For example, your goal can be something like to build a 4-figure e-commerce business, and then you list down all the necessary skills you need to achieve your goal into the two columns, okay? For instance, you can list down things like website design, and because you have no idea how to design a website, so you place it into the weakness column. Here's another one, copywriting. And because you have attended class about copywriting before, you think you are quite good with it. So you add this skill to the strength column. Next, we have email follow-ups. You are good with copywriting, so email follow-up can be added into the strength column. And you continue to list down all the necessary skills and action steps, and then categorize them as your strengths or weaknesses. Once you have completed this exercise, you can then do a ranking and review what you have wrote down. You can come up with a plan to improve your weaknesses or outsource things you are no good with. And this is one good way to identify your strengths and weaknesses. Number 2, be prepared for learning and improving. Once you knew what are your weaknesses, a very good way to overcome them is make yourself extremely prepared for it. For example, if your weakness is that you have a very bad sense of direction, before you make your move, just be prepared and map out your route. If you are someone forgetful, like you often forget where you park your car, just snap a photo of your parking lot with your phone so that you can easily identify where you park after that. The key is to get yourself ready to overcome things that you are weak at. In other words, take the countermeasure approach. When you need to deliver a presentation to a group of clients, you prepare and rehearse it many times before you actually do it, right? Preparation makes you feel confident, and it is one of the best ways to improve your weaknesses. Number 3, leverage other people's strengths. Sometimes it makes more sense to outsource or hire the skills that you lack. You don't have to do everything on your own. You just need to delegate and outsource on things that you are bad with. In other words, get someone else to cover your weaknesses. When you look at all the successful entrepreneurs and businesses out there, you will discover that nobody is perfect and everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. And those who know how to leverage the strengths of others are the ones who make it big. When Steve Jobs started Apple with Steve Wozniak, he did not know much about technology, programming, and design. Jobs partnered with Wozniak as a hardware engineer to design the first few computers in Apple. The same goes for Disney Studios. Walt Disney was the creative man behind the studio, and Walt's brother, Roy Disney, was the financial man for Disney Studios. Walt leveraged Roy's financial knowledge while Roy depended on Walt's creativity to grow the business. Roy Disney was the one who made sure the company was financially stable. As you can see, you can't succeed alone. You need help, support, skills, and knowledge from others to be successful in life. Number 4, face your weaknesses and do it anyway. There's no way you can improve if you are not willing to face it and do it. You grow only when you are willing to step out of your comfort zone and do something different. Many times, it is not that you are weak at certain things. It is because you choose not to face it that makes you lack experience and thus making you weak in the subject. A lot of people think that they can't write and that writing is one of their weaknesses. But if you are willing to face it and do it daily, your writing skill will eventually improve and get better. So, you think you are bad with writing? Start a blog and write 500 words every day. After a year or so, you will find that writing has become your second nature and you can write as smoothly as you talk. That's what happened to me. I started my blog many years ago and my writing was bad. Even to this day, I'm still learning about content writing and video publishing. I may not be a professional writer, but I have improved a lot. You have to understand that no one was born a champion. Champions were made, not born. That means you can get good at things that you are bad at. Every master was once a beginner. If you think you lack the skills or knowledge, think again. So, face your weaknesses. Don't run away from them. Don't doubt yourself and never let your self-limiting beliefs stop you from becoming the person you want to be. Number 5, you just need to get good enough. It is true you can never be great at everything, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to be great at everything. You just need to be good enough to understand how things work and how to make things moving. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, China's largest e-commerce company, once said that when he started the business, he had no idea how to program or build a website, but others do. So he hired people to do it for him. Even until today, he doesn't know anything about programming or coding or building a website. Of course, he doesn't need to right now because he's already a billionaire, right? The same goes in life and at work or in business. You don't have to be the master of everything. You just need to know the basics and how to make things work. You don't know how electricity works, right? And you don't have to be an electrician or an electrical engineer to use all the appliances or to switch on the light in your house, correct? You see, you don't know how electricity works, but you can still use it. Amazing, isn't it? Sometimes it is about strategy versus technical stuff. You don't have to know about designing, coding, or building a website to create a successful online business out of it. You just need to know the strategy, how to connect things, and you are good to go. And you just need to get good enough. Remember, you don't have to be perfect to be successful. Got it? These are the 5 tips on how you can turn your weaknesses into your strengths. First, recognize and acknowledge your weaknesses. Second, be prepared to learn and improve. Next, leverage other people's strengths. Number 4, face your weaknesses and do it anyway. And finally, number 5, just get good enough at it. I hope this video is going to be helpful to you. If you like this video, make sure you smash the like button and share it with people who need to see it. And most importantly, make sure you subscribe to my channel to learn more about success and achieving your dreams. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. That's all for now. See ya.